right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the All the Time Show. A very, very special episode today. It's the usual. I'm Shane, Logan, and you might see a face on the screen you don't recognize, our very, very special guest for this very special episode of our NFL draft recap. We all had pretty good drafts, but we have a very special Cowboys fan here. Tony, Anthony,
What's up?
Huddy,
Buddy,
what's
there
up,
you
man?
go.
You welcome to the pod. And as a Cowboys fan, how do you think your boys did overall in the draft?
Yeah, I think we did as good as we could have done, right? You got to pay CD, got to pay. You might pick up Micah's fifth-year option. Who knows? Got to pay Dak. You got to work with what you got. So, went protecting with the offensive line, right? I was hoping to get a running back in there, but I guess there's rumors about Zeke coming back.
I think that is going to happen, actually.
Yeah, that 1-2 punch. Get that back. That's what's killing me, right? We got all the speed in the backfield. I guess we picked up Royce Freeman. He's kind of bigger, but, there's no power back there. I mean, everybody noticed last year Tony Pollard got tackled on the 1-yard line by Miami. Fucking one-arm tackle, 1-yard line. Get out of here. Come on. So
weird because he looked great the year before. Looked absolutely phenomenal.
But he's not, he can't take the whole load. And I was wrong with that because I was like, get rid of Zeke. I'm a Pollard fan. I think he's got it. Dude,
he's a change of pace back.
Straight
that's what
butt. Yeah. You ain't kidding. Fresh legs, 200 touches. That's it.
So you got a tackle with your first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Then you went edge, and then Cooper. He's an offensive lineman too, right? Cooper Beebe or whatever.
Yeah, he was a guard, I believe, for what was it?
You guys are gonna try to move him to center.
The center, yeah. So I guess they had already been doing, contact with him, talking to him about it, going through the play, pretty much moving him there. I was reading something on that. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about the linebacker, right? So because we need outside linebackers. Mike is moving down at defensive end, staying there pretty much, I believe. And so you got Overstone coming back off of fucking rehab, from the injury. But yeah, this linebacker, I was reading up on him, right? So out of
Notre Dame back in.
Yeah. So he
Marist Linstow or something.
I would say it ain't even gonna murder this kid's name, right? So I know it said in 2022. Since then, he hasn't given up a single touchdown in pass coverage. So that's like 500 and something snaps. So we'll see. But we need to focus on
Notre Dame.
Yeah,
you said Logue.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
So playing against pretty good competition then too.
Right, exactly. But I think we needed, and we got a defensive. We get a defensive end there too, right?
Yeah, defensive end, edge rusher.
Yeah, so we need beef in the middle. I mean, Dan Quinn put our 4 smallest guys on the line versus Jordan Love. They're running down the field, fucking, right up the gut, fucking 3 touchdowns in a row. Come on, man, what are you doing here, right? Field the line.
You think you guys will win the division this year?
Oh, Philly, man, they're looking good, huh? That draft was good. That draft was good, man. That draft was good. Washington. They're picking up people too, left and right.
Washington had a good draft as well.
Yeah,
Who's the other team in the division?
Who is it? Is there another team?
Cowboys,
the team,
Commanders,
man. That's right.
Eagles. Yeah.
Don't throw in the Logan here, huh?
I'm trying to think about the Super Bowls the Giants have since the Cowboys or Washington has.
Yeah, well, it's been a while, but if you want to count them, I'm pretty sure Dallas has been to 7. How many has New York been to?
How many since you've been alive? That's what I want.
What does that matter? What does that matter since I've been alive? It's the history of the team, right? Not since I've been alive.
Oh, yeah, but that's before you were a fan, right? So,
history of the team.
I wasn't, I can't affect that. I can't choose when I was born, so that shows I'm a real fan. I've chosen a team before they've won a Super Bowl, Or
No, you were born and you choose a team that had a rich history and you've never got to experience.
oh
And,
yeah,
and listen, as two other people on the cast, we can tell you what a feeling it is. You guys will probably never get to experience what it's like
Oh,
to
you
come in.
lost your mind. Never,
No, definitely
huh?
not. Your
Yeah,
guys' best
okay.
chance has been the last 5 years and it hasn't happened. But
Oh,
I just want to
right.
explain to you quickly the feeling of it is coming into the playoffs is only a 9-17 and taking down an undefeated Patriots team for a Super Bowl. The GOAT, Tommy B, 2 times, by the way. It's an unbelievable feeling.
Randy
And when
Moss.
if you go back and watch tapes from the early 90s or before, you'll get to see it, man, and just pretend you were there. It's a wonderful feeling. But so
Stupid. Pretend you were there.
we will talk
Yeah.
about the Giants though, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we took Malik Neighbors and
Good pick.
Oh, wait, before you start, as you being a Giants fan, having a top 10 pick over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
yeah,
Like
we're
this
there.
guy picks in the top 10 every single year, Tony, and every year it's
I
game
wonder
changer.
why.
This is our
No,
year.
that's not true. You've asked me every time. I've never been happy with the top 10 pick till this is the
So,
only
I
year.
just
Why?
want to say real quick, I looked it up. The last time the Steelers picked in the top 10, I'll just tell you who the pick was. It was Terry Bradshaw. But all right, go ahead.
It was the most overrated quarterback in NFL history. Awesome. Besides somebody who was a Cowboys quarterback, I'm not going to name his name, big time name,
So you
okay.
got neighbors.
rhymes
You got
with Fakeman, but
Fake him in my ass. Yeah. How many's he got? How many Super Bowls?
we'll keep going here.
Okay.
He's a stud. This is the first draft that I've ever said, please draft this guy, and it's happened. Just so we're clear, because I will give the Cowboys some props. I was on the phone with Shane, I believe, when the draft happened, when you guys took Michael Parsons, and I was begging for the Giants to draft Michael Parsons, and it didn't happen. So I will give a shout out. He's a stud. Begged, saying to Shane, got it. Please tell me they're going to draft Michael Parsons. I don't care if he played last year at Penn State. He's a stud. But we finally got a stud. It doesn't make sense to take quarterback. There, no matter what anyone says. You can say what you want, but
nah.
J.J. McCarthy's not worth the 6th overall pick, and certainly Bo Nix isn't. You take one of the first 3. They couldn't do it. Apparently, they tried with the Patriots. They offered this year's 6th pick and next year's first rounder. Patriots didn't budge. And even that, I don't know if I would have traded because, quarterbacks are hit or miss, man. We have top prospects all the time that don't pan out to anything. And then, where we got a little slight from Mel Kiper, I would say, right? Mel Kiper, I think, gave the Giants a B overall. He didn't love Tyler Nubin as the safety to pick. Personally, think he's the best safety in the draft. The only thing that holds him back is he's not as athletic as some of the other ones. But when you look at his numbers, the kid's a fucking stud. He's a ball hawk.
Out of
He's
Minnesota.
he's an absolute stud. A lot of other people had him as the top-rated safety in the draft. Mel Kiper had him back a little bit. He's a stud. And then, we move on. Phillips at cornerback, Kentucky. Got some work to do, but he's a good-sized cornerback, so I'm happy with that.
Defensive backs, then, huh?
We took tight end out of Penn State. He's all right. We'll see. Tight ends are weird. He might be good, not be good. What I like is Tyrone Tracy out of Purdue, the running back. So not many carries, not much volume, so you don't know much about him. He's a 6-year guy, but he played wide receiver his whole career, and then 2022 they started putting him at running back. And
really?
he averaged over 8 yards a carry as a running back. And then 2023, he averaged over 6 yards as a carry as a running back.
So what is he, 24?
He's a little older.
Yeah, right. So how do you think that's going to affect his what do you think there, right? I mean, most running backs would have fallen off at 30, or maybe not fallen off, but being traded or, whatever, right? So what do you think?
Not a great show. Now, listen, kid might come in, play his part. After the rookie contract, he's gone. We ain't re-signing him, that's for sure. Not at that age. But he's a receiving back,
Unless
right?
he balls out.
We have a kid coming who was a wide receiver playing running back, and that kind of where we lost Saquon, and there's no replacing that. But if you're going to have a pass catcher, why not have a wide receiver coming out of the backfield who can run the ball? So I love that. So we'll see. I'm a really big fan of Nubin in Neighbors, though, so I'm excited to see.
So you guys pretty much – you went like position players and defensive backs.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, running backs, tight ends.
Yeah. And we didn't re-sign McKinney this year, so I think Nubin is a perfect time to get perfect person to get at safety without re-signing McKinney. You know, obviously, I think. I'm blanking. The cornerback from Iowa.
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean, or if Kool-Aid was
white cornerback from Iowa.
Hey, last white good cornerback in the NFL. Who was he? Jason Sehorn, New York Giants. Thank you. Stud. But we do it for the culture. Anyways, you know, at 47, if Cooper DeJean or Kool-Aid were still there, there's no doubt in my mind they were taking one of those two corners there instead of Newman, but he wasn't there, so they made a smart pick, I think. So, what do you think about the Steelers?
So you're pretty happy?
I'm as happy as you can be at having Daniel Jones off a neck and ACL injury as your starting quarterback. But, you know, am I optimistic that we're going to make the playoffs and have a great season? No, we're not. But we've had a great offseason, you know. We've had another great offseason. So, you know, who knows? Who knows, you know?
That was the most New York Giant thing of all time. Are we going to win playoffs? Are we going to have a good season? No, absolutely not. We had a great offseason.
But I do want to touch on something. A lot of people are calling
great
for Dable and Joe Shane's head already, and I love them. The people are like, this. We're going into year 3. Everyone's upset. But when they came in, they said it was clear that this is probably a 4-year at best, most likely a 5-year rebuild process. We've only had 2 years. What are they coming for his head?
Well, the thing is, you got to think about this. The NFL in general, right? So it doesn't even matter just coach, you know, GM, you know, quarterback. Those positions of leadership there, it's not like it used to be. I mean, you draft a quarterback or you have a head coach, right? You get at least minimum 5 years, right, to rebuild. That's what they're doing here, right? And they're learning. They're like drafting quarterbacks, putting them behind others, letting them fucking learn, letting them, you know, grow before they even throw them in. The same thing they were doing with head coaches, right? You had time to build a team. That isn't anymore. You got 1 or 2 years to provide something good or you're out. You know,
people want
everybody's playing for the win. That's it. Win this year. That's it. You know, it isn't like it used to be.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. In the division talent-wise, we just don't have it. Number one, Dallas for the longest time has had more talent than us. And then we're not even talk about the Eagles. Skill position, they have a better quarterback.
The Eagles are going to be
better running back. Yeah, they have a better running back. They have a better quarterback. Way better at both of those two positions. They have a way better offensive line than us. They have a way better defensive line than us. They have better wide receivers, and it's really hard not to think they don't have a better defensive backs now with their 2 stud quarterbacks.
Now we'll have to see, right? Because they were last in the league, I believe, 32nd or 31st when it came to pass coverage, right, and giving up touchdowns. So obviously they need those cornerbacks. They got them. We'll see. I mean, first-year guys. I mean, you know.
Oh, they're going to get picked on a bit. But when you think about if these 2 players develop into who they could be, it's going to be a really dangerous team.
Oh, they're going to be a problem for years to come.
Their defensive line is so good. They don't have to cover very long. And that's the thing. If these 2 young corners develop into what they be, what do you do? How do you stop the Eagles? If they're 2 people that can stick a wide receiver, what do you do? Because you can't stop the defensive line for very long. And then you have 2 hopefully awesome. Well, hopefully not awesome unless they come and sign with the Giants.
I mean, you can't count out Reed Blankenship at safety, right, with the help over top. I mean, this guy's coming into his own, you know.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent on that team. I hope they're just like the Cowboys, though, and never live up to it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to take a shot at you. It's just the truth.
Yeah. I mean, you got to see. I mean, I get what you're saying. 3 12-win seasons in a row and fucking early exits out of the playoffs. Come on,
man.
What are you doing? You know,
Dak disappeared in the playoffs.
Here we go. You know,
I even think all the way back when Romo was there. The offensive line was just disgusting.
Amazing. Yeah.
You got to.
Saquon's going to eat this year.
Oh, Saquon's going to eat.
Well, here's the thing, though. You say that, right? And DeAndre Swift started it off, too. But what does Nick Sirianni do, right? He says, I'm taking over. We're going past the whole way. I can't scheme my guys open. We'll start off fucking 10-0 and fucking tank. Okay?
That's the other thing, though.
You know, if they stick to it, I believe it could happen. But, you know.
Well, the thing is, Saquon is phenomenal out of the backfield at catching passes, too.
I mean, DeAndre Swift wasn't, he wasn't no slump either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Saquon's another level of dog, but at the same time, you can't, you may have the player, but if you don't have the coach giving him the ball,
Yeah,
I
Nick's
mean,
got to stay out of it. He got
yeah,
involved in it. It got
that's
ugly.
his
They
problem.
need Big Dom back. Big Dom on the sideline. Things are different.
Tell
Right.
you too, as a DeAndre Swift managed DeAndre Swift fantasy manager last year, almost cost me a championship, but it didn't. You guys were in that league, weren't you?
Yeah, I remember I dropped Swift.
I remember. Yeah, I did. I had a really good team because of you.
Yeah, that's right. First year here, huh? You know, came down to the
So the
fucking wire.
Eagles were up there. They had a plus rating via PFF.com. Another team with an A plus rating. The Colts, the Saints, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I think we had the absolute best draft we could have.
Yeah, I give it to you guys. You guys had a solid fucking. That was good.
Big beefy boys on the offensive line. Got a good scrappy receiver. One of the best linebackers that was in the draft that fell down just because he had ACLs and stuff, but he's like way past the knee stuff. Hopefully, knock on wood. And everybody we brought in was like for the culture too. Like everyone's just an absolute like savage dog on the field. Like wants to just rip people's heads off. Like every single person. That's what I love the best about this offseason. We got rid of everybody in the locker room that wasn't living up to the Steeler way. All the freaking pussyfooting around, crybaby bullshit. Got rid of all of it and brought in straight killers. And brought in offense coordinator that loves running the ball. Brought in big beefy boys up front. We're going to run the ball. We're going to have a great defense. I think the Steelers are going to we're going to win at least one playoff game this year, maybe two. I want to say two, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
I got a question for you.
I want to say AFC Championship, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
You guys had a phenomenal offseason. I mean,
Steelers win 2 playoff games this year.
You guys won what last year? 10 games?
Yeah.
And no offense, your team was shit.
In the first round
and your team
was
shit compared to what it is now. You guys have a way
dog
better
shit.
You guys have a way better team than you did now. Or you guys have a way better team now. Yeah.
Way better culture too, which I'm
what round
really
did they take
about.
that linebacker? I thought it was in 5 or 6.
Yeah. It was after the third round. Peyton Wilson, NC State. The guy is an absolute killer. Killer.
I think you guys drafted all the Wilsons in the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signed Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Roman Wilson, Peyton Wilson, Russell Wilson, baby. We're just Wilsoning it up.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson come in as the 3rd rated linebacker in the draft. So that's a great pick in the 4th round.
They all fell. All the defensive players fell. It was only offensive being picked to the 1st round anyway. So,
Omar Khan and Tomlin and Alex Weidel just absolutely did a amazing job. I love it.
Before we get to the worst draft here, I gotta touch on this. What the fuck are the Buffalo Bills doing, huh? What are you doing? You trade picks with the Kansas City Chiefs to give up the receiver you needed and give it to them. Like, what in the fuck is going on in Buffalo?
Weird.
Can someone
they
explain
gave
that
up
to me?
the pick where they could have got Xavier Worthy,
They got Xavier Worthy, right? And instead gave them to Kansas City, the team they can't beat.
And what the hell who did they take with their first pick? Did they take a receiver?
Yeah, they got listen, they
That's
did.
Where they got Keon
Coleman, and apparently I don't know if they had Xavier Worthy there and they didn't love him. Apparently Josh Allen said that's the receiver left that he'd want on their team. Apparently he was
Where'd
involved
you see
in
that?
I read it on something with ESPN or it was somewhere, but he apparently liked Keon Coleman. He's a fan of Keon Coleman, so I think that maybe I'm going to speculate that they liked Keon Coleman more, and they knew they could trade back and take Keon Coleman.
There you go. That's their answer. Then I mean, that's like C.J. Stroud last year told them to draft Tank Dell. He played ball with him.
Speaking
So
of Tank Dell, before we go any further, you guys see what happened to Tank Dell last night?
He got shot. Yeah.
He got shot last night.
what? I did
Yeah,
not
Good
outside
see
of the
though.
that.
He's out of the hospital.
10
That's
people,
Oh,
good.
10 people
man.
injured, shooting in a nightclub.
Wow.
Damn.
Gotta
Yeah.
stay out of the nightclub, boys. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing good happen. Hey,
Yeah.
as Jason Miller, a great football coach, state championship football coach would say, ain't nothing good happen after 12 o'clock. Nothing. Nothing good happens after 12 o'clock.
Hey,
Okay, you had me holding on, man, and then you came up with that shit. I thought it was nothing good happens after dark, but all right, you got it.
I think it might have been 10. It might have been 10.
Turn on.
Yeah.
It might have
Yeah.
been 10, but I think I've had some good things happen to me after 10
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah.
But so why wouldn't they just take Keon Coleman and they must have
Really?
got another pick
Well,
out of it or
obviously they got
something?
another pick
with the
out of
trade?
it.
Yeah, they
had to.
traded back, got picks, and got the
Right.
guy they wanted, I think.
Got
Well,
the
that
guy
would be
they
the only
wanted.
thing that would make sense if Josh Allen said I'd rather have Keon Coleman than Xavier Worthy. That's
Right.
the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
Listen, they got the third-rated safety right after that, their next pick. It wasn't all bad.
Yeah, true. It wasn't complete bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but without knowing that information,
Yeah.
so
You
Do I
just
think
watch
Keon-
it.
I was with you.
Do I think Keon Coleman myself is better than Xavier Worthy? I don't know.
He's
Because
gonna sell more tickets. I'll tell you that much. That dude's hilarious.
yeah,
Oh,
He's
bro,
fucking-
he
he's
is
the
he
man.
is the shit. This dude is pure gold. Do you hear me?
I think it's probably why Josh liked him.
Guess where I got his at. I bet you won't get it right. Just
Yeah.
guess.
Macy's.
You guess. You're gonna get it wrong, but guess though.
Tom Izzo, not Macy's. Guys,
Macy's.
fucking.
Did you
Hey,
see?
man.
He also had an awesome interview talking about Waffle House and stuff too.
Oh no, I
That
didn't
was
do
just
that.
that was amazing.
Hey, what about my guy Leggett from Carolina? All right, this guy is a fucking. Oh,
Gotta
he's
love
a
him.
fucking. You gotta
Who's
love
this?
it, right? Leggett from Carolina, the
Yeah,
Panthers.
Carolina's
He
first
got
pick.
drafted. You
Gotta
ain't
love
seen him?
Oh,
Oh
no.
man, you gotta watch this guy. Is it all
Why, what? He's just big personality?
Yeah, bro. And his accent's just so thick. You know,
You
you
gotta
gotta
love
see. You know, man.
Who do you
Yeah.
got? Do we all say the Eagles had the best draft?
I don't.
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, they had the best defensive draft if you're going to go overall.
The only way that I
I'd
can put
have
them in
to
is all the trades they got with it for next year. I think they got a second at least. I know they got a third and a fourth. I think they got a lot of picks for next year.
If you want to say best draft, I'm going to go Pittsburgh. If you want to say best
I
offseason
like
mixed
that.
with the draft, with everything that's entailed beforehand, like all
Well, that's-
together during the offseason, it's got to be Philadelphia. All the pieces they put together, you know, during the offseason, all the signings. They already got A.J. Brown signed. They already got Devontae Smith signed, all on lower contracts than what the market's going to go
Saquon,
for.
all that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're just.
Well,
I
we
think-
were saying best draft, so you say Pittsburgh?
Oh, yeah, Pittsburgh.
It's
I mean,
up
you got
there.
all the pieces you needed, right? I mean, you got every one of them. You know?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, like I said, I didn't get everybody I think that Dallas should have got, but I can't complain on the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking the same thing about the Detroit trade, right? But obviously, they had already been talking to Guyton beforehand, and that's why they went with him. They knew they could still get that offensive lineman. They didn't take the dude from where was he from? It wasn't Oregon. That was the first pick. What was the other cat that went before him?
Joe Alt?
No, he's from Oregon, right?
No, Notre Dame.
No.
Notre Dame. Well, whichever two offensive linemen
The
went
Colts
first.
had a good draft, too.
I was
Colts
just gonna
had a
say
really good
the
draft.
Colts had a great draft. Colts got the number 2 edge. They got the number 6 receiver. They got the number 12 offensive tackle. They got the number 5 center. They had a good draft as well. Very
Yeah,
good
that's
draft.
a good fight.
Loaded up on
argument
DBs.
there. Colts might have.
They hit every position they needed except for tight end. They had a good draft.
What
About,
about the Giants or Steelers make any signings after the draft on the unsigned picks? Undrafted picks?
I saw the Giants sign someone. I didn't know who it was. I don't know who he is. Probably
Steelers signed a quarterback from Canadian Football League or something.
There you
might
go.
as well have 30 of them.
What do you think they're
Yeah.
going to do with Fields? That's the big question, right? And we know Russell's the starter, but what are they planning with Fields here, huh?
I think they want Fields to sit behind him for a year or two, learn and go. Much like the worst draft, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean, they only signed Russell for 1 year, right? I mean,
yeah.
So,
I think someone else in the draft is trying to play a similar position. I just think with it because I want to talk about it. Because I think Tone's probably has a little different opinion. I think Atlanta made. I think they had an awful draft. Regardless, I know, and listen, I am a Penix fan. I'm gonna be honest. I wish he was
Love
there
him.
second round, maybe
Absolutely.
third. Giants want him to be there. The second round Giants to take him. Love him. He's older. He's older.
That's true. That
24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's 24 years old, and you just signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year contract. I get wanting to come by. Kirk Cousins is probably a great person to sit behind. He's probably going to learn a lot. But at that point, when do you do it? Do you waste a bunch of dead cap money on Kirk Cousins because you make Penix a starter, like 2 years? What do you do? Because if he plays out his 4-year contract, Michael Penix is 28 years old. Coming off his rookie deal, his first year he's going to start. That is insane.
Yeah, best case scenario is they can get out of it in 2 years, still have to pay Kirk Cousins a bunch of money. He got a bunch of guaranteed money, and Penix
Kirk
is
Cousins
still
be
26.
right in the fucking contracts.
Yeah. Best case scenario for you
Here's the
is
thing,
that.
though, right? So,
26.
like, I hear what you're saying with the age thing, right? But you know, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted Dallas to pick Penix up. I'm kind of on the horizon of letting Dak walk, you know, after this year. And
Love Penix.
me too, right? So obviously we knew we wasn't going to fall that far. And by the way, I'm pretty sure I told you the day prior there were going to be 6 quarterbacks picked in the first round. And
Was there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the next one to go was Spencer Rattler, way down.
And so you know, anyways, let's toot my own horn there. I think it was a good pick because Kirk Cousins is older.
Really?
I think it is. All this controversy, I think it was a good pick. You know, you got him there. If Kirk Cousins doesn't come in and doing what you want, I mean, this also, they talk about this, right? So the Packers drafted Jordan Love, right? What happened with Aaron Rodgers in the next 2 years when they drafted Jordan Love? He won back-to-back MVPs, right? Okay,
Yep.
So here's this fire. We got this young buck coming in who's going to take your fucking job if you don't play lights out, you know? And at the same time, you've got a good quarterback. I mean, Kirk Cousins is no slouch. I mean, you know, the dude's he's decent. You know, he's somebody who's good to learn from. Teaching Michael Penix so that when the time comes, you got him. If not, you got trade capital here. I mean, we've talked about this earlier. I mean, I think there's trade capital in the fact that people do not know what he is capable and what he's not capable of, right? So some teams may be willing to risk that. If we come up to another season where it ends up like we were this year, which was so odd, where all the quarterbacks in the league were hurt. I mean, I think they said there was like
so many.
I mean, like what, over 50 different starters? You know, that's insane, right? But if we come into a situation where, you know, the league runs low on the quarterback position, what do I got here in my back pocket, right? I got trade capital.
Yeah,
You know?
but the question is this. So I guess it's more with the organization, right? You just signed Kirk Cousins to all this money, coming off an Achilles injury at his age. It's asinine. The whole situation is asinine. And
I don't know. Check out Aaron Rodgers, right?
we haven't seen him play yet. We don't even. Yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen him yet. We don't know. Most people don't come back, and I know we've came a long way with Achilles injuries than we used to. Modern medicine's different, but with that, as you were saying, you know, worst case scenario, you have Michael Penix. Yeah, but then you also just paid for a guy who's sitting on your bench, which is crazy. But the other part is this, with the trade capital. We have seen good quarterbacks get traded and stuff. They are never, especially if he never plays, at 26 years old, if it's 2 years or later, 3 years, 27, 4 years, 28.
Best case scenario, 26.
Getting for trade value the 8th overall pick in the draft. It's never going to happen.
No, you're not going to get that, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
but
that's the issue. You spent the 8th pick on him.
Well,
you
what
drove
did
the car
Atlanta
off
need?
a lot. Price went down.
What did Atlanta need, right?
Everything in the world.
I mean, they had a top 5 defense.
They needed defensive ends, and they stayed away from them forever.
Right, yeah. I mean, I didn't say they had a good draft. We were just talking about Michael Penix here, okay?
I'll tell you what they needed. They needed.
Some say they had the worst draft.
I'll tell you every position they needed. They needed a cornerback. They did not get one. They needed an offensive tackle. They did not get one. They needed a defensive tackle and a linebacker. They needed an edge bad, and it's like they just couldn't fucking they had to wait forever to pull the trigger and get an edge to the third. You know what I mean?
There's obviously something under the lines that we're not seeing, right? Just like the whole thing with the Buffalo Bills situation we are just talking about, right? There's something else going on where something or they're just fucking stupid. I don't know, but I mean, I'm not trying to contradict myself here. Like, I love Michael Penix. I would have fucking grabbed him too. You know what I'm saying? But I would at least try to draft at the positions I still needed afterwards, right? You know, so like something else is going on there that we're not aware of. You know, obviously, you know. The draft room
they
is
probably could have even traded that 8th pick back, got something out of that 8th pick, and took Michael Penix later too.
right. Yeah, because nobody was. I don't think who drafted a quarterback after them.
Minnesota, and JJ was their guy from the start, and then after him went Bo Nix, and Sean Payton said Bo Nix was their guy. He made false claims to get the Jets, Minnesota, to trade up for that they were coming for JJ or something. So Minnesota traded with the Jets, and JJ was never their guy.
Right, yeah.
Smart. But with that, I just want to real quick say something about all these people who give grades. We don't know anything yet. These guys haven't played it down. And I just want to say, Bleacher Report was created in 2005. In 2012, they gave out one single F to a team. They gave an F to the Seattle Seahawks. And in that draft, the Seahawks drafted Bruce Irvin, Bobby Wagner, and Russell Wilson, and they gave him an F. An F. And they went on and won, 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah, you know.
So,
it's all situational where you go. And, you know?
This is overreaction draft. That's because that's all we can do.
Can we talk about that, though, quick? What an all-time fail for Bleacher Report. Gave the Seahawks an F?
Yeah.
And they won 2 Super Bowls with those guys?
Because all it is a bunch of analytics put into a thing, and like, this is good, this is bad. When really these people are
just a bunch of opinions.
They're humans, you know. Like some of these guys have the work ethic that you can't put into a friggin' data sheet. That's gonna make them a lot better than anyone would ever think.
And some of them have all the talent in the world.
Some of them are gonna suck
and are nasty and just have never even worked hard. And they might get there, and then someone might actually push them to work hard, and they're like even better somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, they might fucking be an OBJ, you know. So.
Best catch ever.
Like, I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be good.
It might have been one catch. I think
Caleb Williams is a bust.
Caleb Williams.
You think so? I think so, too. I think it's going to be...
I'm going to go off the record and say he's not.
I'm going to say Jaden Daniels is going to pull off to be the number 1 quarterback in that draft class.
I think when you look at what is surrounding Caleb Williams right now, any quarterback in the league is going to look good in that situation. They have a good offensive line. They got DeAndre Swift. What's his name? Kyle Clement. What's his name at tight end?
Cole Kmet. Yeah.
Oh, Cole Kmet. Then you have O'Dunes, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. I mean, what the fuck? This guy I could go out there and look nasty. I probably win MVP this year.
I mean, I really shouldn't touch base on this right here, right? But then you got too many mouths to feed in the sense that, you know, like.
But someone's always open.
Well, there's going to be somebody unhappy, right? And then you're going to have that buzz in the locker room. You know what I mean? Look at Philadelphia. A.J. Brown got all tore up, right? They started to fall apart. That fucking shit wasn't going right.
With that, A.J. Brown is always known to be a diva. He is. A.J. Brown is a diva. We don't have any cold hard facts that any of these 3 wide receivers are divas.
Yeah, true.
I will say it's probably the best situation any number 1 pick has ever gone into, though.
Well, if you've been watching ESPN,
let's look at it this way, right? So
great. They think JJ.
But you got to look who's in their division, right?
I'm saying for a number 1 overall pick.
Oh yeah, going in with two top 10 receivers.
Look at Bryce Young last year. Like, went into the worst situation ever.
It could have been into, right? Yeah, exactly. You know,
imagine C.J. Stroud on the Bears.
What do you mean, C.J. Stroud still with the Texans? I mean, they're fucking loaded. Their offseason was amazing.
I know. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, they are. But I'm just saying, imagine he came into that situation.
You're welcome for Tank Dell there in fantasy too, by the way.
I have him too. Damn, I had a lot of people. A lot of people on my they were all on my bench.
I dropped.
Hey, they were all on my bench when I took down the GOAT, Mel.
Yeah.
I think, speaking of Minnesota too, I think Minnesota had a very underrated draft too. Right. I don't think enough people. They got JJ. They got Dallas Turner, who's an absolute dog.
We're about
JJ's
to
gonna
see
be
JJ
trash.
throwing bombs to fucking Justin Jefferson.
Chargers too. I think the
JJ to
Chargers did.
JJ, baby. Let's go. JJ to JJ.
JJ.
Yeah,
I hope so. I don't know.
yeah,
don't
we'll
know.
see, huh?
He's dog shit. No offense, JJ.
You think McCarthy's gonna be dog shit?
Seems like a nice guy. I don't care who was your coach, Jim Harbaugh, anyone who loves to pound the trenches. If you are that good at throwing the ball, you're throwing the fucking ball. The guys that listen, take it from a quarterback who handed the ball off. We are good at that, all right? There's a reason you're not throwing. There's a reason why right after, right, me in high school was gone, the next quarterback started throwing all the time because they could, right? I wasn't that guy. Same here. Michigan, different coach. They'll be throwing the ball next year. They'll have a different quarterback. The guy has not shown us anything. And he seems like a great kid, great attitude. He's a winner, so I can't knock him for that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he finds
What are
a
you
way.
calling him? You calling him the next Mac Jones? You
Maybe
going
he
that
hands.
far?
No, I think he's just going to hand the ball to Aaron Jones and hope to God he's fucking nasty.
Kansas City too. They had a good draft. They drafted a tight end too. I thought that was drafted a tight end pretty early.
Yeah, Kelce's getting married, gonna move on, retire.
I think that's what it is. I don't think he has much football left in him. I think that's truly what it is.
I wouldn't
Living
either.
on
I'd
the
be
other side right
gone.
now.
I'm fucking out of there, baby. Let's go, Taylor.
These guys though, to be at this level of where they're at, their level of competitiveness is just something that's unmatched. You know, that's really hard to give up. Just to
Oh yeah,
like,
you think
he's
about
not
Jake.
getting that thrill or that high that he gets from the football field right now, doing all the awesome shit he's doing.
His girlfriend just made over $1 billion on one single tour, plus all the other money. He ain't worried. Hey, no matter what, you can take the fight out of the dog, but you can't take the dog out of the fight. Deep down inside, Travis Kelce's a fucking party animal. He's a fucking party animal, bud. He wants to fucking chill. He wants to feed up, smoke the tweed, chill out, and have a mega star.
I don't even blame him. He deserves it. Go out on a three-peat, and then retire.
Three-peat, he's done.
Let's do this, right? We got to do this, right? With the draft comes Super Bowl predictions, right? I mean, that's what we. What are we?
Overreactions, baby.
Right,
Let's go.
Where are we going? Where's the overreact? I'm calling Dallas another 12-win season, first round exit. That's what it's going to be.
That's not overreaction. That's reality.
Oh yeah, true. That's I said last year the Jets were going to go, right? That fucking.
Well,
so
I'll put an asterisk on that for you.
Yeah.
They would have been really fucking good if Aaron Rodgers was their quarterback.
Oh, he's there now. So what do you guys got to say about him this year?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him throw one fucking ball. I mean, besides what you see on social media, but that ain't with no pressure, and that ain't with fucking having to do it on the run. So, I mean,
could go out there first.
You think he forgot how to throw it?
Oh, I don't think he forgot how to throw it. I think he's almost fucking 40 years old, and he's fucking, coming off an Achilles tear, and
and
we'll
Achilles.
See, right?
People gotta stop.
He's gonna be nasty. Come back.
I didn't say he wasn't gonna be nasty, but we're talking Super Bowl predictions, right?
Give it to us right now. Draft special, overreaction extraordinaire. Super Bowl predictions after the draft. Tony?
Oh, Super Bowl. Me first, right? Okay, let's see. I'm going AFC Texans. I think they're going to pull it. I think so. C.J. Stroud's second year. He's going to have a fucking, a little bit of fucking seasoning under his belt. NFC. Man, that's a hard one, right? So there's so many good teams right now, right? And I don't think San Fran's going to have the same year they did last year. They're not coming out dominating everybody.
Talk about a chip on the shoulder, though. Holy shit.
Man, you know what? I want to call it the Packers. I think the Packers are going to come in swinging. I think the Packers are going to come in swinging.
Put it on the ticker. Texans, Packers?
Texans, Packers.
Damn. All right.
I'm writing that down right now. All right, Texans, Packers.
Logan, what do you got? You want me to go?
Put $100 on that right now.
I want you to go.
Steelers, Lions. Steelers win it.
Oh, get out of here.
Steelers win the Super Bowl next year.
You didn't ask me who the winner is, but that's cool.
Well, So Tony went with one I like, and you went with your team. I'm gonna go
I went with the best team in the AFC.
I'm gonna go
right?
completely opposite of my team, and this fucking hurts.
Oh no!
I'm gonna say NFC Eagles.
Oof. Why would you even say that? Go ahead.
It hurts. It fucking
does.
hurts. Trust me,
Fuck
boys.
the
It hurts.
Eagles.
He's broken, ladies and gentlemen. He's broken.
I'm
They
a
broke
realistic. Listen, what
They
people
broke
are never gonna
15
say.
top 10 picks in a row. They broke him.
What people are never gonna say about me on this podcast is I am biased because I am very, I'm very level-headed, real. They have a great team. They have the talent.
They do, but you still hate them. I'd never say that.
AFC so hard because I want to say Eagles Texans. But my God, is it hard to bet against a man until he just proves you wrong over and over.
Yeah, go ahead, say it. We all know what you're thinking.
Eagles Texans.
Oh, counts out Mahomes. Okay.
Oh man, I'm gonna regret it. I want the record to say the brain in me wants to say Eagles, Chiefs. The gambling side of me that I bet against Kansas City in every single game in the playoffs this year, starting with the Bills, kills me to go against them again. I just don't learn. I'm going Texans, Eagles. Let's go. Run it.
What would you say, Shane? Steelers who?
Steelers, Lions.
Oh, okay. So you're on that bandwagon, huh? All right.
That would be a fun one. Listen, I'd be good with all of these except for mine. I don't want to see the Eagles there. That's all I just want to say. Fuck the Eagles. I hope I'm the one that's wrong.
So two of us got the Texans, huh? All right. Well, I think if they're healthy, man, after everything they've added, you know what I mean? Like, they picked up Joe Mixon. They picked up Danielle Hunter on the back end or on the defensive line. I mean,
How do you cover the receivers?
How do you, right? I mean,
how do you cover that?
Stephon.
I mean, Dalton Schultz he's not a good blocking tight end, but he's pretty much a receiver, right? I mean, how do
you cover him?
Yeah.
And it's not like they don't have they got a fucking nasty quarterback, dude.
Oh, yeah.
How do you stop this? How do you stop this offense? They are nasty. And listen, we didn't even talk about it. Oh, I wish I could pull it up. I had it earlier. The end of the Deshaun Watson Texans Cleveland trade.
Yeah, I saw that.
Officially ended in. You talk about a robbery. I mean, just a fleecing of franchise to franchise.
Texans fleeced the...
Absolutely fleeced them. Oh, my God. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like 8 or 9 picks that were all nasty and then just Deshaun Watson.
Nasty.
Like their whole entire team pretty much.
Got rid of Deshaun Watson, got C.J. Stroud. That's a win. Tank Dell was one of them. I mean, they
bunch of defense. Will Anderson.
Oh, they fleeced him.
I mean, think about this. C.J. Stroud literally made Nico Collins a top 5 receiver.
Oh, Nico
Collins. They got Stephon Diggs.
Nico, Stephon, Tank, Dalton,
I mean,
Schultz,
Stephon is a cancer, bro. He is a cancer. If they can just keep him fucking with his mouth shut, I think they'll be okay. But he is a cancer to a team.
That's going to be all D'Amico, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think D'Amico's got it in him.
I think if you have a coach that's going to do it, there's 2 coaches that come to mind. D'Amico.
Say it.
Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 coaches.
Oh, Mike Tomlin shipping your ass right out. You want to be a little bitch.
So we just did the Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, I know.
Also, with that, Deontay Johnson, it was supposed to go to the Chiefs, and they said no because he got mouthy, sent him to the fucking Panthers.
So here, let's do this.
The deal was done with the Chiefs, but something happened at the end, and they sent him to the fucking Carolina.
All right, what do we got here? Bottom NFC team, bottom AFC team. Who is tanking this year?
Oh, the worst
tanks each conference. What do you got?
Carolina's easy.
Carolina, huh?
Yeah.
Carolina's easy. And for the AFC,
because Carolina had a shit draft too.
Yeah, they were one of the worst teams ever. And then they didn't do anything.
I'm going to say Tennessee.
Hold on. Shane, what do you got on the NFC?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
NFC, I'm going to go... I'm going to say the Commanders are going to suck.
Ooh,
Even with Jaden Daniels.
Commanders. Okay. All right, Logan, what do you got, man? AFC.
Well, certainly not the Commanders because I think they did all right with having Sam Howell last year, and they actually had an excellent draft as well. AFC, AFC or NFC? What do you want?
Whichever one you want to start with.
Carolina for sure.
Obviously, we're all going with that one.
I feel bad for Bryce Young.
Yeah, poor cat.
The two teams that I think are at the bottom here are, man, it's really a toss-up. I mean, it's kind of bigger teams. Tennessee or New England, they suck. I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think they're the worst team in the AFC this year, which is hard to say. But, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously Carolina, right?
What the fuck did I do? I said 2 NFC teams.
Who'd you say?
I said Commanders.
You sure did, Carolina.
Yeah,
Commanders.
you did.
Yeah, so take ahead. So I guess
New
England.
New England. I was thinking New England, and for some reason I said Commanders.
Don't think Drake May helps them?
I think it helps them, but I think
they got a new coach too. They got a lot going on.
Yeah, they got
so much going on that I think it's not gonna. I mean, I don't know. You can look at Houston. Houston had the new quarterback, the new coach, the fucking rookie coach, rookie quarterback, right? But that ain't the same thing. I don't know. I've got to go with you, right? I've got to go New England and Carolina. Got to. I mean, that's gonna be the bum suck of the league there.
We got to remember this podcast and come back at the end of the year, Super Bowl time, see who's in it. If any of us were right, check out the 2 worst records. Woo!
What are we doing? Listen, how about this? If your 2 teams make it, let's put 100 on it right now. Live bet. You hear it. Put it on the bet board.
If you get both teams right,
we were doing hypothetical overreactions.
Okay, so what we want to do? We want to do the bet now. That's just the overreaction. We want to make the bet.
No, we're not betting on that. We're not betting on those.
Let us introduce you is the third gambling degenerate that we didn't get to talk. This Tony is a gambling degenerate with us.
He just deleted all that. Actually, he just straightened that out.
Yeah, I got one back, but don't worry.
Deleted what?
Listen, we got to put a bet board on the back of your screen there, right? Get a dry erase board with the bet board on there. Keep track of these.
Good idea.
Yeah. So it's locked in.
That's a great idea.
I don't think the Steelers are making the Super Bowl.
That was definitely an overreaction.
That was our big overreaction.
I don't think that you should say that, though. You guys won 10 games, and your team was, no offense, dog shit compared to where it is now. You guys have, I think, a legitimate contender now. I think Russell Wilson is slept on. I think he had a lot better numbers. He asked a lot more in garbage time, but he had a lot better numbers than people make think, and he was in a bad situation. I mean, Sean Payton fucking hated it.
Actually, you want to compare numbers. He had the same, almost identical numbers as Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Identical. I mean, I think the difference
we got a lot better everywhere too. Our whole defense.
I think you guys make the playoffs, but I don't think Russell has it in him to finish the year for you in the Super Bowl. I don't think so.
He has it in him to finish with Sierra.
Hell yeah.
Fuck future.
Fuck future. All right, boys. Any last thoughts?
I think it's been a good time, boys. Tone, I think this has been excellent. Gina was laughing. She said, "Who's on?" I said, "Me, Shane, and Special Edition Tony," and she thought that was the funniest thing. She laughed. But I think you should be on more, man. You should be on more.
If you're happy, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean,
locked in. That's binding right there.
All the time.
I'm gonna be honest. I love the 4 screen. When your hand was frozen before we started, the 4 screen looks great. You get Tony in here too. Double tones. And,
there you go.
Two-tone.
Two-tone. There we go. Yeah.
Two-tone.
Yeah.
So, all right, boys. That's our NFL draft recap, Super Bowl overreactions, everything we got into, how our teams did, and like, subscribe down below, whatever you got to do, help us grow. Leave a comment, what you thought about your team, what you think about our teams, whatever you got to do. And until next time, boys, God is good.
All the time.
Here we go.
Why does my measuring tape have a marker at 8.5 inches?